hammering happening. Great. Should I continue? I feel like I should continue. Sorry for the sound behind me.
I wish I could take back all the things I said in my...
What's up, nerds? So today I am going to be doing my July wrap-up and August TBR. Are you excited? Because I'm excited because I actually read a lot this month. So my original TBR list for July included The Vagina Monologues by Eve Ensler, The Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams-Chima. Sorry, my list is over here. That's why I'm looking over there. And then I had The Card Turner by Louis Satcher, Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly, and 3 Cups of Tea by Greg Mortensen. Now, I managed to read 4 of those. I did not read The Card Turner by Louis Satcher, but I did read... Let's get these all together. I did read The Vagina Monologues. I finished this in a day, or maybe, a full 24 hours is how long it took me to read this. It was so good. I think every female needs to read this. It's important, okay? It's important for us to know our bodies and our vaginas, because they're part of us, okay? All right. So, good one. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5. It's technically a monologue. And I loved it. It was wonderful. Oh, then I read Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly, and I read that on my Kindle. And I didn't actually know what this book was about until about early last month when I decided I wanted to read it, because it's written by Jennifer Donnelly, who wrote If I Stay, which I haven't read yet. And so I was looking for If I Stay, and I found this book at the library, and I was like, this sounds really good. And I think I also gave that a 5 out of 5 stars. It was just so amazing. I fell in love with the main character. I fell in love with the story that's within the story, too. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. And if you want regular updates by me about the things that I'm reading, like, in real time, you should check out my Goodreads account. It's down there. Let's be friends. Then I picked up The Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams-Chima. I also read that on my Kindle, and I loved that book. It's a great first book in a series. By the time you guys see this, I will have posted a blog post review on it. I will link that down below. And I really loved this book. I loved that they thoroughly went through like the world in which they have created, but it wasn't dry like a lot of fantasy books are, because since the main character doesn't know about the world, it like went really well with him learning as we learned. And I loved that. A lot of people don't like that because it's like boring to them, but I love learning about the new world. It's like one of my favorite things. So I don't consider it a slow book, even if it's a lot of learning and not a lot of action, because I like that shit. So sorry. The booktubeathon happened, and it didn't actually start before I picked up The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisenberger. I actually started reading this before Booktubeathon started, and I got about a third of the way through, and then Booktubeathon started, and I finished it later. But yeah, I read The Devil Wears Prada. I gave this a 4 out of 5. I liked it. I think I have to say, I'm not usually one to say this, but I do think that the movie is better than the book. I liked the character development in the movie better than I liked the characters in this book. They were much more annoying in this book. And also because this book, I think, is set in like early 2000s or 90s, maybe. Like the descriptions of the outfits that she's like are so vogue. I'm just like, ooh, please don't ever wear that now. And so that's just like it being dated, not a problem with the book itself. But I didn't really like Andrea or Andrea Andy in the book versus I love her in the movie. So she was a little bit more annoying, and she's a smoker in the book, which again I think just shows it's a little bit dated, but that just bugged me that she was a smoker. But yeah, so I read this. But then Booktubeathon started, and I picked up Night World by L.J. Smith. This is the first 3 books in the 9-book series. It has Secret Vampire, Daughters of Darkness, and Spellbinder in it. And I liked this. Each book is paying attention to different characters that are all connected. They like talk about the characters in the other books, but then they become the main character in the next book. Or does that make sense? Do we understand what I'm trying to say here? I'm sorry, I'm not good with words. But yeah, so I liked these. They were okay. Like, I probably will pick up the second Night World thick book, but not this month. But yeah, it was all right. I dug it. It's a very easy read, so if you're trying to just like zone out and you're not looking for like Game of Thrones, then it's a good one, even though it is. So then I picked up My Dog Skip. My Dog Skip by Willie Morris, which was the book to movie adaptation, but I didn't end up watching the movie. This was my favorite movie when I was really young, or one of my favorite movies when I was really young. My favorite stuffed animal was named after Skip in the book, and it was dog. And I just liked rereading this. I think the movie is a little bit more depressing than the book is. They like add a lot of more emotional, like dangerous things for the dog in the movie that didn't actually happen in the book. So it's a lot less like riveting maybe, but it's still a really good book. It's set in the World War II era, so the style of writing also has that like 40s, style of like Mississippi Southern, like he has the accent, you can like hear his accent in the book. That was awesome. So I liked that. Then I picked up the Grimm's Fairy Tales, which this is actually just it's a children's adaptation by somebody, Roy Nemerson. So the stories are different. The font is really giant, and there's only maybe 10 stories in here versus the Grimm's Fairy Tales. There's like, I don't know, way more than that. So it was a really quick, easy read. I just picked this up every night and read a story or two during Booktube-a-thon. And I would give this, I think I gave it like a 3 out of 5. It's really good like to read to your children. It's just not that exciting to read because the sentences are really easy and everything. So not all that great of writing. Then I picked up 3 Cups of Tea by Greg Mortensen. I believe I gave this a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. And this book, it's nonfiction. And I've already talked about this in my July TBR, so I'm not going to go through it all the way, but my heart was moved in such a good way by this book. It's so, I can't even express like how I feel towards Greg as a human being after reading this. I just think it was so amazing, like what he's done for Pakistan, for the world in Pakistan, for the world and Pakistan, for everyone. He like brought so much like light to the situation there, and I wish that people were still talking about him, especially with everything that's going on out there right now with Pakistan and Israel. I think that's really important to bring up again. So I feel like we just need to bring back this information. So then, what happened after that is that I picked up We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. And I just posted a video of a full review of We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, so I will link that right here. And if you want to see my full review of this, then you can click on that. There's no spoilers in the first half, so you're good to go if you haven't read it, and then you can click off when I announce that I'll be spoiling it. Or if you've read it, you can watch along with me and then maybe comment down below on your thoughts and all that stuff. But 5 out of 5 here. Really good. No words. Okay. Alright, so that is everything that I read this last month, except for I have already begun, and it's only July 29th. I am 10% on my Kindle into Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bront. There we go. And it's an adaptation or a rewrite or whatever the fuck, because it's written in a different language. So somebody has made it into English, because I can't read. I think it was it German first? I can't remember. But anyway, I'm reading that right now, so that's the first book I plan to read in August, because I will not be finishing it in the next 3 days. It's just too long. So I'm going to read Jane Eyre, and then I plan on picking up 4 more books. I want to read The Giver by Lewis Lowry. I can never remember how to pronounce his name correctly, but I want to reread that. I mean, yeah, I've already read it. I want to reread it hopefully by August 13th when the movie comes out, because I'm really excited. And then I plan on picking up Fight Club by Chuck, putting his last name right here because I can't say it because it's scary looking. But I plan on reading Fight Club because it was picked for Little Book Owl's book club that's on Goodreads. you know who Little Book Owl is, you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't know what Little Book Owl is,
Now there's hammering happening. Great. Should I continue? I feel like I should continue. Sorry for the sound behind me.
if you don't know who she is, you should go check her out. I'll link her channel down below. She's way bigger on YouTube than I am, so you probably do know who she is if you like the book stuff that I'm doing. Anyway, we won't get into that. You should go check her out. And then, once I'm done with Fight Club, I plan on picking up Burned by Ellen Hopkins, which I've also read before, but if you don't know what it is, it's written in, like, poetry, sort of. So all of the pages are weird, not like a normal book. Yeah, and this one, it's about, she has an abusive family, and they're super religious, and so it's about, like, gaining, like, how do you deal with sexual things when your family is crazy and doesn't agree with sexual things, I think, if I remember correctly, and based on just glancing at the back of the book. That's what I think this is about, but I will let you know once I've read it what it really is about, if that's wrong. And then, last but not least, this month I plan on picking up Maze Runner by James Dashner, because once again, movie's coming out. I haven't read it before, and I would like to read it before the movie comes out. So I want to do that. And I'm reading a lot of books that have become movies this month. Technically 4 out of 5 of them have been movies already or are going to be movies. I haven't seen any of the Jane Eyre movies because I feel like most of them are shitty, from what people tell me. And yeah, I don't know why I've never read it before either, though. That's a whole nother thing. So anyway, that's my plan for August, and then I start school August 26th at 4-year college because I'm out of Cal State now, and that's really exciting. So I've been in college for 3 years now at community college, and I'm finally getting up and putting my big girl pants on and going to a 4-year, so I probably will start incorporating some college lifestyle thing videos onto this channel because I will be busy with school, so I might as well delve into it on the channel so that I don't end up ignoring the channel, because I do that sometimes. So yeah, that's the goal for August, and I hope to see you in my next video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!